Always remember, the opinion you follow should be your own. Just consider the things stated here to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online.
Everybody out there listening to the podcast, as always, it's Random Waypoints, and we have some very special guests today.
That's right. We have some special guests. So get this. Mike got invited to race with the Baja Goats in the legendary Baja 1000. A small team with a big heart. Let's meet the founders of the Baja Goats, Alma and David Winkel. They're not chasing fame or factory sponsorships. They're racing the Baja 1000 to raise money for the Ronald McDonald House. Their car, Clay Henry Jr., is built by hand, fueled by passion, and driven by purpose. Alma and David, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. Little history about us is I'm David Winkel. By day, I work for a credit union, and then by night, I'm a kind of a adventurous. I always like things that add excitement to life. My very first vehicle was a Volkswagen Bug, and ever since, I've been a little bit of a Volkswagen addict, nut, yes. Met my wife. She's originally from Mexico, and she kind of, is an enabler in some of my activities here. She's my sidekick. Basically, every adventure I want to do, she's like, "Oh, I want to do it with you." So where we got into desert racing is we had a family trip in 2001. And in 2000, around Thanksgiving and Christmas time, my father died, and then my brother-in-law's business partner passed away as well around the same time. So we're flying into La Paz, and I'm looking at the desert, and I'm like, man, I always wanted to race the Baja 1000. And the Baja 1000 was kind of founded on Volkswagen air-cooled motors. And I was talking with my brother-in-law, and I'm like, hey, I would really love to race the Baja 1000. And he says, yeah, Seth and I used to, which was his business partner that passed away, said, yeah, we used to always watch Dust to Glory, and we always wanted to do that. So then I started thinking, you got to live your life to the fullest. And whenever I met Mike, one of the first things that he said is, you got one life, make sure you choose wisely. So by the end of the week, before we even flew back, I had found a car, and I was like, we're going to do this. So then my brother-in-law and I started thinking, well, maybe you should know what we're doing before you go racing. So I made a social post on Facebook. Another team reached out to me, and it's like, all I want to do is co-pilot. And by the time the race had come around, all I wanted to do was volunteer and chase. By the time the race had come around, I was co-piloting the start of the race. Several of the other Baja Goats were co-piloting as well, along with my brother-in-law, and we ended up winning our class. And I really should have.
What year was that?
That was in 2001. And 2021. Yeah, thank you, 2021. And I really should have retired right then, because gone out on top, right?
Yeah.
But we wanted to do it in our own car, right? There's something about building something yourself, building your own team, and racing. So Alma and I were talking about, well, how can we actually do more than just race, right? You spend a lot of money out in the desert in this, and it's our passion, but how can we actually make a difference? So if you ever have watched Dust to Glory 2, there's Dennis Hallenbeck, and he actually has a Class 11 vehicle, and he raises money for an orphanage in Mexico. And in that, and I highly recommend it, if you can find Dust to Glory and Dust to Glory 2 on YouTube for free, you can watch it. And in the video, he goes to the orphanage before he goes racing, and he has the kids put finger paint on their hands, and they go and put their hands on the back of the car. And his analogy is that's them pushing him through the desert, right? And the car that the kids are always asking about Bochito. How did the car do after the race, right? So I'll turn it over to Alma and talk about Ronald McDonald House. But Alma and I were never fortunate to have kids. We tried several years, and we were just never fortunate enough. So this is really our way of raising money for the Ronald McDonald House charities. And we try to videotape stuff, share it with the kids. And it's a way of us bringing the kids along for the adventure, because the Ronald McDonald House, it's a way to keep families together as the kids are going through medical treatment. And I'll let Alma talk about more about that. But they're confined, right? Long weeks, months, years sometimes getting these medical treatments. So sometimes we share our adventures as a way just to break that monotony of those treatments. So let me turn it over to Alma because I like to talk a lot.
And she's going to give it to you all in Spanish now.
I can't. English.
Yeah, maybe we'll do English.
Alma Winkel. Yes, I'm along for the adventure. It was definitely not something that I ever expected to do or ever dreamed of doing, but it was a childhood dream of David to compete in this Baja 1000. And I've definitely learned a lot from him over the years. We're 24 years into the marriage, so definitely a few adventures here and there. And yeah, I sit on the board. Helicopter.
We got a helicopter going over. Don't mind that.
Here.
It's probably a chase vehicle for one of the pro teams.
Yeah.
So I'm on the board for a board member for Ronald McDonald House Charities of Greater Houston.
Okay.
And I've been blessed enough to serve on the board for many years. And it's just become a passion. So by day, I'm a banker. I work for a bank in the McDonald's division of that bank. So I'm very connected with the McDonald's space. And that's how I got introduced to the charity by a former customer. And from there, it just got into our blood of being passionate about the organization. It is for those that don't know about the charity, it's a global organization with chapters around the world, over 300 houses of Ronald McDonald houses, where families with sick children can stay, usually for free. And it's a home away from home. Because we believe that whenever there is a sick kid in the family, it makes the family feel like a sick family because they're having to take care of not only the sick child, but possible other children and the spouses. There's a lot going on, especially if they are far away from home. Usually you can stay at a Ronald McDonald House if you live an hour further away from that medical center, so that you're not having to spend most of your time, right, going to and from. One of David's employees, he was on his baby moon in San Antonio, even though he's from Houston. So it was about 2.5, 3 hours away from home. And on their baby moon, right, supposed to be their last hurrah before the baby comes. Well, she went into labor a month or two before the baby was due. So they were in San Antonio. They had to stay in San Antonio for several weeks. That is extremely expensive, extremely daunting, and it's a lot on the families. So we were able to help them out for a few weeks in a hotel before they were on the wait list, because there's that big of a demand in a lot of the cities. So they were finally able to stay in the house, the Ronald McDonald House in San Antonio, while they had the baby early, had to stay there in the NICU, and eventually make their way back to Houston. But you have people that come to Houston because it's the largest medical center in the world, world renowned. And you have families from dozens and dozens of countries, right, that come for specialists, etc. So we actually had a family at the Ronald McDonald House that was there for over 3 years, not months or weeks, years. Imagine being away from your family in a different country for years. And so that's the kind of benefit. It's not just a house, it's a community, so that they know they're not alone. The other families that are there with their sick children seeking medical attention just get to support each other. We help feed them, we help house them, transport them, help them find jobs in case they're, living there for a long period of time. They could easily lose their jobs from back home. There's so much that goes involved. So it's a beautiful charity around the world, and it's just become a passion of us.
And I'll stress, as the newcomer here, what's different about the team, I think, is that we're doing it to bring awareness to that charity. So thank you very much for kind of explaining to everybody out there that may not be familiar with what the Ronald McDonald House is. And we will put a link down here below and everywhere. So if you guys have anything really that you could donate or whatever, we would greatly appreciate that.
Even $10 goes a long way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So any amount.
Any-
Yeah.
And then when you're actually checking out at McDonald's, you'll see where it says round up,
Yes.
and it could be just be 5 cents, right?
Yeah.
That's where that money goes to. So you can imagine how many thousands of transactions a day. If you just round up 5 cents or 50 cents to the next dollar, that's where it's actually going. So it's
You're making a difference.
yeah.
Even with those pennies.
Absolutely.
And we all eat at McDonald's, unfortunately. Maybe. I don't like to admit that, but not so much down here in Mexico. But anyways.
Mike, we're always talking about how the industry is changing and politics, and it seems everybody's out for themselves. I mean, how often do you see racers using one of the toughest off-road events on earth to give back?
Right.
That's their main thing. Not winning, not more sponsors, not me. I'm talking to Mike, but I'm complimenting you guys. I love the story that I'm hearing. It's so many micro stories within the story. A couple that's lasted the test of time. A couple who has found a mutual engaging thing that they enjoy and funneled it into doing something benevolent for others. I love it.
Yeah, and like they brought up the word community, and I'll tell you, having now spent the last how long have we been here? It feels like
You came in on Sunday, yeah.
It's been like 3 days, and we've got for everybody out there. One of the reasons I wanted to bring them on, obviously, other than talking about the Ronald McDonald House, is also giving some history, because I don't know that everybody knows what we're doing. One,
right.
So we have to explain it on what the heck the Baja 1000 is, I think, for one, and what goes in behind the scenes. Because one of the things I've seen over just the last 3 days, being the new guy, is it takes an army to put together what we're doing. We have literally been in a room looking at maps and data and live video from helicopter footage from the route, all sorts of crazy stuff. So let's talk about that a little bit too. The race.
Yeah.
This is what, the 58th year of the Baja 1000. So it's besides the Baja 1000, there's the Dakar. I would say those are the two premier off-road desert racing in the world.
Yeah.
Like, this is the top of the top. I refer to it as, this is kind of like the Indy 500 of off-road racing, right?
Yeah.
And how did it all start? Like, and how do we get here? And people don't understand everything. Like, there's classes involved. There's give them a little quick breakdown.
So started in the 60s, and Baja is it's an outdoor paradise, right? A lot of overlanding, a lot of fishing, camping, and people from Southern California. So SCORE actually stands for, and they're the promoters of the Baja 1000, a Southern California off-road enthusiast. And that was actually started by Mickey Thompson, the famous racer. And he came down and said, well, let's do a 1,000-mile race. And it started with people like in dune buggies.
People picture the old VW cars, really.
And it was founded on, old Volkswagen Bugs. And then it slowly, motorcycles, and then the trucks started getting into play, and then it's grown to trophy trucks, $1 million trophy trucks, 1,000 horsepower that are following by helicopters. But it started its grassroots and have just grown and grown. And so if you wanted to race the 24 hours of Le Mans, you have to be sponsored by a manufacturer. You got to have millions of dollars. To race the Baja 1000, a lot of the desert racing in the U.S. and in Mexico, as long as your car passes tech, it's you. Let's go. So it's fantastic. And you're talking about micro stories within the story. So we have the exact same time limit, the same course, the same everything as $1 million trophy truck. So they don't make it easy on us. It actually is harder for the limited classes over years because the trophy trucks have become more capable. So they make the courses harder for them. Well, we're going along that. So there's some analogies with how people start in life. We're all born into this world, and we all go by the same rules and laws, but it's a little tougher for some people than other people. So we're in a very limited class.
It's tougher for us because it's going to take us longer too.
So in limited class, so if you're a fan of NASCAR, you have the restrictor plates, and all the cars should be pretty close to the same. So we're in a limited class, so the engine is limited to 1,600 cc's. There's Venturis that in the motor and the carburetor that restricts the airflow. So all the cars are pretty close to the same about horsepower, which is 85 horsepower, around 85. You can get a little bit more and a little less, depends on your cam, but the heads have to be cannot be ported. The valves have to be the sock size, but they're very capable cars. We can do 70, 80 miles per hour in open desert. On the whoops, we're doing 60 miles per hour. And it's a carbureted car. So we'll start at sea level and we'll climb to 6,000 feet. And anybody that knows about carbureted cars, you start losing horsepower as you're going up. So it's very demanding on the limited classes, but the nice thing about a limited class is who wins is who prepared the most, whose car did not break down, who actually is the best driver, and actually who has the best luck, right? Because a lot of times it's luck that you didn't get stuck in a certain area or your car break down, or your pit crew gets to you. Also the Baja 1000 and a lot of the desert races as well, if you're picturing NASCAR, your pit stop remains in the exact same spot every single lap. Every single lap is the exact same. So if you go out and practice at the Daytona 500, it's the same turn. And every year, it's the exact same turn.
And your pit team doesn't move.
And your pit team doesn't move. It's turn 3, and you pull into pit lane. For desert racing, every year the course changes. And also your pit crew has to meet you where you're going to be when you need gas, fuel, or you break down. So if you can fix the car, you can keep on going. It's not like you're out of the race. So it's very demanding on the chase team. It's very demanding on the pit crew. A lot of planning goes in together. But also the only thing that starts the race and finishes the race, unless you Ironman it, is the car. So the team is a true team. There's no one person that's going to carry the team. Everybody has to do their part. So we have 5 drivers and 5 co-pilots. Wow. And they get in different shifts. And since we're amateurs, we're not driving 250 miles a piece. We're driving 90 to 125 miles sections. But we're averaging 35, 40 miles per hour. So you're in the car for 2.5, 3, 4 hours, depends on the section.
Rest, but you get in again.
Yeah, you rest, you get in again. But also, whenever you get out of the car, you don't get just to hang out in air-conditioned pit room. You're in your chase vehicle driving another 500 miles on Mexican roads to meet the car up again. So the race is 36 hours, but if you look at it, we'll probably be up 48 hours, just with little naps.
And I don't know if I mentioned it, the race is what, 859
miles?
Yeah, so it's about 850 miles. It ranges by year. It could be a lot longer than that, a lot less. It's always somewhere in the 1,000-mile ballpark. But even our chase cars, of which we have a total of 7, right? So we've got 4 chase cars from the team, and then we have another, I guess it's 8 really.
Yeah.
And then there's another 4 cars from our pit crew. So we have 8 cars that are following the race car. And for those of you that follow my channel know that Baja is super rugged, super remote. And there's, there's sections of this route that are very inaccessible, hard to get support to. So we've had to plot out where each pit stop is going to be. Nothing's perfect, right? Things could happen. We might have unscheduled pits. Who knows what could occur? So it's a rigmarole trying to get 26 people moved around. There's a possibility that some of the chase cars will actually drive 1,000 miles as well as the race car.
So your main vehicle is named Clay Henry Jr. Could you get into the history of that name? I'm pretty sure there's some pertinent information about that name you want to give us.
Yes. So, so first we'll start with the name Baja Goats, right? So whenever you say Baja Goats, people go straight to greatest of all times. It's the complete opposite of that, right? Because you think of greatest of all times, you're thinking, oh, you're the best. There's some ego that goes to it. No. So my brother-in-law started several different companies, and his team were, they would work 20-hour days, very determined young individuals going to create this great company. And he always referred to them as goats. Goats survive. They're very durable animals. And they like to climb rocks, right? So once we start looking at what we're going to name the team, we're going to be racing in Baja Goats, right?
There's a lot of goats down here.
And they eat anything, right? And if you look at the pictures that Mike's been posting, I think 90% of them are food, right?
We've been eating.
Yes. So we use this as a vacation. It's an adventure, but we use it as a vacation. So we enjoy ourselves while we're down here. So once we had the Baja Goats, I'm like, well, and there's another, kind of tie into this. I'm like, well, what is a baby goat called? It's called a kid. And we're raising money for kids in the Ronald McDonald House. So you get that little connection, which was unplanned, but it works. It's great. So then we started thinking, well, what do we want to name the car? Because Alma and I have always named all our cars. And I actually just bought a LMTV, and that's how
Thus the connection here.
The connection, and we'll dive into that a little later, but we're trying to figure out what we're going to name it. It's Chuck, like Chuck Norris, with all the funny Chuck Norris memes. But Clay Henry, I just did a quick Google search. I'm like, name a famous goat. And the famous goat is Clay Henry. So if you never heard of Clay Henry, there's a town around Big Bend National Park in Texas called Lajitas, Texas. And there's an article about the businessman. He owned basically most of the town. So he had enough votes to create the bylaws and nominate who the mayor is. And he nominated a beer drinking goat. And there's been like 17 of them. When they die, they'll get another one. They call it Clay Henry. You can go and visit Clay Henry. So we named our car Clay Henry. Well, our first Clay Henry was a Volkswagen based, it was a Baja Bug, the iconic Baja Bug. And we flipped it in a race, completely totaled it. And it's like, well, let's build another car. So the next car is number 2. So now it's Junior. So it's Clay Henry Jr. So that's where the name comes from. But anybody that's listening, look up the history of Clay Henry. It's quite funny.
It's famous.
Famous goat, beer drinking goat.
Which is very apropos for Baja here, let me tell you. And we're waiting on Junior right now. The excitement level is building here because the car gets delivered to us this evening.
Yes.
Right? It's coming into town tonight. It's stored in Mexicali, which is not too far away from Ensenada, where we are.
So I'm curious, can you guys give me more distinctions between the amateurs and the professionals? Because when you guys start describing the size of the team, the jobs of the team, the logistics, all of these things, this sounds like a really professional team. So what's the difference?
So
That's a good point.
So I think the difference is probably the mentality, right?
Mindset.
The mindset. Because a professional is, you're not successful unless you finish the race and you're at the top and you got your sponsorships coming in. We're here to have a good time. We support each other. I always do a pep talk for the team before we start the race, that the most important thing is for us to be safe. Second is to have fun. Number 3 is let's get everybody in the car. And then number 4, let's try to finish the race, right? So that's, so when we're saying amateur, we're trying to win our class. It's nothing like that, but I just think it's how you wake up yourself in the morning. Because you could say, oh, David, you're a race car driver. I don't consider myself a race car driver.
But you are.
You will be Friday.
Yes.
I mean, and that's the point. It's a good question, Phil, because even for those of you who don't know, even the pro drivers are doing it for it's not so much a money-based event,
No.
right? So they're not getting big prize money out of this stuff. They're really trying to gain reputations, to get sponsorship, and to continue their brands oftentimes. So it's a different mindset. And you're looking at $1 million+ vehicles with helicopter chase teams and all sorts of crazy. I mean, you should see right around the corner from us, the setup here. You would think that there is a huge event in town.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal, and it's a really big economic deal, particularly down here in Baja, Mexico. These racing, because it's not just the Baja 1000. There's a Nora 1000. There's the Baja 500. There's other races that run by these organizations, and it brings a lot of revenue down to this area. So it's super important and very closely followed by the locals too. I mean, the local people are really involved in this, right?
So,
Part of the economy of Baja.
yeah, it's definitely part of the economy.
well, and that's something that has caught me off guard coming down here is how everybody in the city is a fan of. This is what they live for. This is their 4th of July. This is their memorial. They're all out on this. They closed the schools for the week so the kids can come out. So whenever you go to Formula One, NASCAR, there's always a chain link fence between you and the car. There is no fences down here. People can walk right up to touch the car. If you roll over, they love coming out and helping you get back up.
Yeah.
They take pride in helping you get going, right? So they're actually participating in the race. Now you'll hear the rumors. There's a small section of fans that like to put booby traps and stuff out there. But 99.9% of the people are there to help you, make sure that you have a good time, cheer you on. There's farmers out there that have their tractors. So if you get stuck, they're ready to help you and they pull you out. Now you're paying a local tax or toll to the farmer, but that's only fair. You're out there and they're helping you out, so you pay a toll for them.
It's a bonus.
But there's people out there with welding machines. You break down, let me help you weld.
It's one of the things that I don't think a lot of people know, that this is an open course per se, meaning that it's run on a combination of public roads, sometimes over private land that's ranches and whatnot, but it's accessible to everybody. I mean, you could meet all sorts of things on the road. You can meet other cars, you could meet cows and goats and sheep and whatnot. So it's an open course, and the fans are, generally speaking, allowed to go and watch the race from anywhere. There's no restrictions, and that obviously is also part of the Mexican culture and vibe down here. But
when I tried to explain it to friends, one of the years when we ran it, it was 1,227 miles. That's like driving from San Diego, California, up to Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
On the side of mountains, through ranch roads. Every once in a while you intersect with the highway, right? And that's what we try to have our pit stops.
And even highway is a strong word.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
down here, a highway's a one lane, no shoulder, kind of situation. But that's the extent of it. You are truly on open road. It's not asphalt or, in the entire course like it is in some of the other races, or what people are used to racing. And the course changes every year. Yes, several sections might be the same. So you might recognize a particular area. Several areas are named, right? Because they're famous sections of Baja. And the race course might include a percentage of what we've raced in other races before. But
the route isn't actually released till a couple of weeks before the race.
6 weeks.
And then, about 6 weeks, right? And then people can pre-run it. So that's another thing that makes this race a little bit different than other things, is that particularly the professional teams, they pre-run it. So they've been out for the last couple of weeks running the actual course, making notes, and we've been taking advantage of that modern technology. Yeah. We're watching all their videos, we're watching the flyovers, we're listening to the commentary. There's a lot of channels out there on YouTube and other places that are talking about this year's rail, and that's what we're basing a lot of our information on. Because we obviously, so there's a difference to answer the question about professional or amateur.
Yes.
that it takes a lot of resources to be down here for many weeks to run every mile of the course, right?
Case in point, some of the professional teams will have their trophy trucks that are pre-runners, not their race vehicle, but they will have 2 or 3 trophy trucks, and they're running each of their, the drivers, they're running their sections maybe 3 or 4 times to practice the lines, to check the differences, take notes, and then the last one is to practice at full speed to make sure that they know what they're doing by the time the race comes. Well, all that's tearing up the actual
course is getting worse and worse, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people know probably that what percentage of the cars that actually finish the race that start?
45 and 55%, depending on the route every year.
And that's across all classes.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
So just because you have a trophy truck and you have this unlimited budget, you got about a 50% chance that you're going to finish the race.
We may beat them. I mean, that's the way you can look at it. If we finish, we beat. It's happened, right? So it's. I can't overestimate the challenge involved in the terrain and the course. It's incredibly difficult.
So, and to go back to professional versus amateur, everybody on our team, not a single person has had racing, off-road racing before they joined the team. And basically almost every race, we're bringing someone new in. They come in as a co-pilot and then they upgrade to a driver. And that's how I started. I started with Jorge with Baja Jag. He allowed me to be his co-pilot. I had never been in a race before. I bought a helmet. I'm taking the price tag off, the contingency. I had never even been in his race car. I get in the race and we go 150 miles. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? You suck it up and you get it done.
Recommended to start
right.
But
so for people out there listening, and because I know I've had a zillion questions this week, Mike, what are you doing? Explain to them what the role of the people on the team is. So what does the driver do? What does the co-driver do? What does a pit crew do?
Yep.
What is Alma doing for all day long for the last week? I don't know how long. Well, what is everybody doing?
The driver has 2 responsibilities. Drive, don't die.
Yeah.
That's it. Drive.
And for the record, the driver, if we win or do well, it's the driver's
Sorry.
They get the glory. If we do something bad, my understanding is that it was the co-pilot's fault, right?
Yeah.
So what is what am I doing?
So everybody always wants to be the driver, but really the true hero is the co-pilot. So Alma touched on it. The driver is don't die, stay on the road, right? Because you're just concentrating what's right in front of you. Where you get your speed is having confidence in your co-pilot that they're actually looking at the GPS telling you if it's a left turn or right turn coming up, because you don't have a chance to look at the map and like, oh, this is where we turn. So if you break down, it's the co-pilot that gets out and tries to fix the car. They're the ones that are changing the tire on the car. They're the ones that are navigators. They're the ones that looking at the Stella,
the race computer.
Letting people pass, or you're passing somebody. They're the ones that are communicating with the chase team, where you're at, where you're going to get. If there's something wrong with the car, make sure that and the driver is just driving, don't die.
The guy on the gauges, oil pressure, fuel,
and it's
lights, managing the lights at night. So you're driving at night.
They're giving me I don't know if you guys are hearing this, but they're giving me an awful long list to focus on.
Right.
I'm taking notes over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing is you hit silt and your mask is all covered in dust. The co-pilot's first responsibility is reach over there and wipe the visor of the driver, because last thing you want to do is have the driver distracted, cleaning his vision and run off the road. So the co-pilot is extremely instrumental for the success of the car. So no pressure, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to say I've not been studying for the last couple of weeks is an understatement.
But we actually have had success with bringing new people in. Everybody's been new that has come in. At the Mint 400 last year, we did a fundraiser for the Ronald McDonald Houses of Southern California. one of the owner operators in Southern California, won the auction, and her husband actually started with me in the Mint. He had never been in a race car before.
Okay.
And we want to do a shout out for Rugged Radio. They donated a helmet for, and the funny thing is the guy's name's actually Junior. So during that race, we had the car named Junior, and then we had the co-pilot named Junior. So we kind of struggled with Junior was, yeah, Junior's leaking oil. What? That doesn't sound right. Go ahead.
I just have a question about the drivers. You made a point of noting how the drivers have rotated in and out, and they're almost all novices. Yet I've watched a lot of footage, and these guys look like professionals. So my question to you is, have you guys created some kind of in-house training or something, or do you send them off to some kind of training?
Well, one of the things that you're seeing in those videos is you don't hear the screaming in the helmet. So we might look professional, but you don't hear the screaming.
And all the drivers, if I'm not mistaken, all of our drivers have co-drive or done other roles with the team prior. So
in our particular team, we try to do other races throughout the year, shorter races, and those races we consider our practice.
Okay.
Aside from those races, like the Mint 400, like the 250s, and we did another one in northern Baja earlier this summer, for example. We also fly into Mexicali, and with Aerodynamics, who's our prep company that stores the car, preps it for us for this race. They're the ones driving
tonight,
Junior in from Mexicali. We'll do team weekends, team practice weekends, and you've got to consider we're not locals, right? We live in Houston. We've got team members from Puerto Rico, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Austin, San Antonio. I mean, we're everywhere. A few of them are in Mexico, but most are not. So we have to prepare for practice weekends, fly into San Diego, drive into Mexicali a couple of hours. We kind of have the same hotel we always stay at. We're getting used to that routine. And we will have just practice weekends. So that all we do, get in the car, get seat time, and practice. So those are also kind of the prepping, testing, get the feel for what kind of driver they are. Do we want to keep them as co-pilots versus letting them loose to actually drive the car? And that has also served us well, in addition to then doing shorter races. So that is, in a sense, our practice leading into this.
And like we're always practicing. Like tomorrow morning, I'm getting anxious because they're going to get me in the car, and I'm going to learn how to get in and out of the car, because there's you've got restraint, you've got helmets, you've got fire suits, you got everything, and be able to get out, change a tire. Yeah. And they're getting ready to just laugh at me. I know it, but it's going to be fun. I get it. So
they're getting in through the window.
It's difficult. So.
But if someone asked me, well, David, what best describes the adventure? And I would say it's as close to being an astronaut that you can think of. So Apollo 13, they're going to the moon and something goes wrong. The only people that can fix it are the 3 people in the capsule. And the only thing they can fix it with is what they have with you. So there's sometimes on some of these races that you're 75 miles from a road or civilization. So if you break down, you need to have people that are capable and can think and not panic. And like, how do I limp this car to the next pit stop so we can get the tools and stuff that we need? And also, just to even go with that astronaut analogy, is we have a helmet on with the communication. And we're talking with each other in the car. We're talking back to the relays, to the chase team. And then we even have a fresh air supply coming in, so we're not breathing in the dust.
Yeah, and you bring that up. I mentioned to him, kind of explain the tech involved in this, because the car has quite a bit of tech. The chase teams have tech.
Yeah.
What all goes into that?
So we have an intercom system so the driver and co-pilot can communicate. So if you're just talking, that's the standard. If you want to talk to the chase team, you have to hit a button to talk outside of the vehicle. Also, we have a Lawrence GPS, and that shows it's right in front of the co-pilot, and that's the course, trying to stay on the course. And the thing that you just look back and how this started, you used to have a paper map, and these guys are going off in the desert with no radio, with a paper map, and you're like, those are the real heroes. And I'll circle back and remind me if I don't talk about Class 11, they call it the Warrior class, but I definitely want to give them a shout out here in a minute. But the other tech that we have on the car is we run a Starlink Mini on the back. And what
Of course.
Right. And right now, so anybody out there listening, we need somebody to develop the technology that we can just use that as a sat phone. But right now, it's still manual. But that's basically allows the team to check in on the vehicle. But also, if we break down, now we can FaceTime with or video with the chase crew for them to help us get that expertise on fixing the car. And also, we use a Garmin InReach Mini. That's connected to a iPhone for texting. So if we break down in the Starlink, you're looking at redundant systems throughout this entire thing. And that way we can communicate back to everybody. We run GoPro to kind of capture the Insta360s as well.
We got Starlink on the chase car as well.
Yeah,
chase cars.
Not all the chase cars, right?
So that's also maybe a difference between the larger teams and budget wise.
Sure.
But yeah, we'll have to connect whenever there is signal in cities as you're driving the route.
Yeah, I would say 60% of the route, maybe even more than that, is out of cell coverage range here in Baja. It's at least 60% of it, maybe more.
And there's, you have to have that huge trust between the driver and co-pilot. If we get out there and I get injured, I'm relying on Mike to make sure that I'm not bleeding to death and put me in the car and drive to
the first question he asked me on the phone was, do you drive standard?
Yes.
I go, yep, check.
And the reason for that is there are a lot of people that don't drive standards anymore, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, that's always called the millennial anti-theft device.
Yeah,
yes.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So you were going to talk about the veteran thing, and I don't know what it is, but I do want you to talk about it.
So, the warrior class, the reason I call it a warrior class is they're the ones that fight the hardest. So it's Class 11. So a Class 11 is a stock Volkswagen Bug. They're old school 1964 Volkswagen, and they're out there racing these races. Same course. They do have a sportsman cut because there's some areas that there's just no way that car is going to get up the mountain. We are not in a sportsman cut. We do the whole course, but the Class 11s up to a couple of years ago did the exact course on everything. But it is just, these guys have no corporate sponsorship. They're working in their garage. Their chase vehicles might break down during the race, right? But these guys are.
Oh, wow.
And if you've ever, so I've done a couple of I am not an athlete, right? But I've done like 4 Ironmans. And the people that clap the loudest are the people that are finishing that 1 second before the cutoff midnight time, right? Because the elite athletes that finish it in 8 hours, you did what we expected.
Right.
But that amateur that's crossing that 1 second, everybody just hangs out and they're screaming the loudest. Same thing with Class 11. And even the trophy truck drivers will sit there and they're like, man, those guys are just awesome. Trophy truck's got 1,000 horsepower, 36 inches of travel. Volkswagen Bug, 75 horsepower, 11 inches of travel.
Imagine Herbie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Herbie. The Baja 1000.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are listening that don't realize this, a lot of Volkswagens were made, particularly the Bugs were made down here in Mexico.
Yeah.
They're hugely popular. Even where I live, I mean, there's Bugs all over the place still.
Yeah.
Like you very rarely see them back in the States anymore, I think. But down here, really, really popular.
And they're a great off-road vehicle because the engine and weight and transaxle is all over the rear tires. You get great traction, and they're very light and a smooth bottom, so you can actually glide over stuff. But they're very, very durable vehicles.
But shout out to those guys because we wouldn't be here without that class. I mean, that's what started this whole craziness.
And ever since UTVs came out, most people and racers have shifted to that because of the power and the ability of terrain and everything they could do. And there's still several in that class of 11. So those are the one are the most.
And we love our class 1600 because you're still shifting. It's got a Volkswagen bus transaxle. We run Porsche 930 CV axles. It's a very durable car. It's like a battle axe. But there's just something about shifting, getting that right gear, right power to go up a hill, and it's like a ballet, versus just a vehicle that you just push the gas and let's go, right? And it's I guess you can say romantic, of having a vehicle that you actually shift.
We're not taking our turn cues from the helicopter.
Yes.
So what are the lifespans of these different classes of vehicles? I don't mean their overall lifespan. I mean, once you've decided I'm going to start using this vehicle in these races, what's typically their lifespan?
See, Phil's got a good question, because I asked you that this morning. I was shocked at the lifespan of the engine in the one that our car. So the funny thing is, you would say Volkswagen, you're like, oh, that's a very cheap class to run, right? It's a Volkswagen, they're cheap cars. It's actually one of the most expensive ones on maintenance. It's absolutely just, when I say it's romantic, you spend money for romance, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. So a race engine, we have a brand new engine for this race. After this race, we'll have to rebuild it. So you normally get about 1,500 miles out of a.
I'm sorry. Did you say after one race you have
after a 1,000-mile race? Yeah, you would rebuild that motor. We'll probably have a practice weekends, but the mindset that you want to do when you're racing is kind of like an aviation mechanic, that you have cycles that a part goes through before you replace it. You don't use it until failure. So we'll rebuild our motor before the next big race. Suspension parts. So tires normally last one race. Transmissions, we might go a whole season with a transmission. So we might put 2,000 miles on the transmission before it's freshened up. But after the race, we'll prep the car so it's completely disassembled. They'll magnaflux all the major components to look for cracks. There's certain bearings and seals that you just replace because you've already taken them off. You're spending the same labor to put them back on. Might as well put that new seal in. And then the motor basically gets rebuilt. And whenever they rebuild the motor, they replace the pistons, the jugs, they'll machine the heads, new cam because you already have it open. So if you're...
How many races though?
Yeah.
Right.
You're doing during the year?
Yeah. It depends on, right.
50 miles versus...
Yes.
Yeah.
All of that kind of factors in.
And how brutal it is. And
so it sounds like a vehicle, if it makes it through a season with minimal maintenance, that's a successful year for that vehicle.
That you're successful if you make it, but minimal maintenance is normally not going to get you through an entire season.
Well, I meant like minimal maintenance for that type of vehicle in that environment.
Yeah.
No, right.
Yeah.
So. Now, if you roll the vehicle and crush in the top of it like our...
Yeah, so it's good to know in my position to know that it's actually happened to them.
Yes.
So...
Oh, wow.
So we're seasoned at it. We got some great videos online.
We got great videos.
Some good barrel rolls and stuff like that.
We start, they're okay.
Yes, everybody's okay.
Well, the people are okay.
Well, and really, so for the 1,000 or any race in Mexico that you're actually chasing, you're safer in the car than you are in the chase team, because the chase team, you're out on major highways. You can get an accident there. The race car is made to protect you. So if you do roll over, we haven't ever had any major injuries. So, but we've had some cliff dives. Fish Gistics has a video of us in the 2021 race that we went off probably a 36 to 40 foot cliff. And the way they've got the video is Concrete Motorsports, big trophy truck. They had gone off of the same cliff, and they're recording their recovery. And then our car's coming around, and they happen to video us going off. Well, they had a whole, they had a neurosurgeon with them. They had paramedics, and they checked out our team. Everybody was fine. They helped us roll the car back over, and we went another 350 miles in the car. You don't give up.
Middle of nowhere, Mexico.
Yes.
And they got it on video.
Yeah. The way I found out that the car had gone off is I don't speak much Spanish, and I hear them, the team talking about a ravine. And I'm like, oh, you probably mean a ditch. The car went off in a ditch, not a ravine. No, it went off in a 30-something foot ravine. And somebody had texted me or sent me a messenger on Facebook and showed me the video. I'm out in the middle of the desert getting live because they had Starlink. And I said, oh, there's my car going off a cliff.
We had to pause the video, zoom in on the roof of the car, and we're like,
that's our number. That's our number.
Yeah, that's how we found out.
So Phil's right now, he's analyzing. He's like, I wonder, can I keep the podcast going by myself?
Well, with AI now, they can probably do it.
Yeah, just AI me on.
Well, no, that would be a great thing, Mike. I think I could go like a year with like rest in peace. This is dedicated. The show is dedicated to Mike.
Right. Oh, no.
Hey, let me give you my Zelle information. I can make that happen for you.
Yeah.
So I want to round back to something that interested me is can you guys get into the different ways that a person can contribute, donate, whatever it is to Ronald McDonald House?
Absolutely. So we've been fundraising primarily for Ronald McDonald House Charities of Greater Houston, because that's the board that I'm on, and we're based out of Houston. But the mecca of off-road racing really is in Southern California. So we've switched gears, and I have a lot of friends and customers in Southern California. So the link that we'll provide is the fundraising that we as Baja Goats, with Michael's help and your help, we're fundraising for Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southern California. So that is 7 different houses that are in the Southern California area, from LA, Orange County, all over that market, including Camp Ronald McDonald for Good Times, which is a camp where kids that are sick, that have cancer, can actually go with their families, have a sense of normalcy of being outside, having camping experiences, again, to get them out of their reality and treatments and such, for as long as we can. And they have specialized doctors and oncologists and such that support them there at the camp as well. So that whole Southern California chapter has a lot of programs, not just the houses. And so that's the fundraising that we're doing right now, is for the Southern California chapters of Ronald McDonald House Charities.
So I'll make a point of getting those links from you guys.
Yep.
So anybody listening, they should be there.
I've been tagging them on, and I will continue this week of tagging them on all of social media, just so you guys know. I've been kind of on board here doing the behind the scenes stuff, which I'll continue all week. We've got some big stuff happening tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We got Wednesday, Thursday. We've got tech and contingency and car checking out and testing and checking our equipment. So I'm going to show you kind of behind the scenes, all of that. And I will be tagging the Ronald McDonald House and that stuff. You can also get the links on my Drive the Globe website. And obviously we'll put them here on the podcast and on our YouTube stuff. So like we said, any amounts, long term, maybe to keep the team going in the future. We'll obviously always looking for bigger partners and whatnot that are out there that might be listening to this and are excited about it. And
all the sponsorships, all of the names of the companies that you see on the side of the race car, those are sponsorships, but they have been donations to Ronald McDonald House Charities. We have been thus far a self-funded team, so we're paying for absolutely everything. And from there, yes, we're always looking for sponsorships. Again, the largest majority would go to RMHC, in this case right now for Southern California. And we have a lot of projects coming up, a lot of special things that we have planned for the fundraising, even into next year. Very exciting things. But yes, always open to seeking support.
And we've raised over $120,000 for the Ronald McDonald Houses so far. And we would love to double, triple that.
Yeah, a lot of that sponsorship or donations really have been from US Bank, from McDonald's owner operators from coast to coast in the US, especially also the Houston Co-op for McDonald's operators, the Coca-Cola Company, Avenue CDC in Houston, and we've got, who am I missing here? Luna, which is one of our drivers on the team, and Glenn Gordon Manor. That is also owner, is one of the drivers on the team, and his son. So that's a father-son duo that are starting the race actually this year for us.
To everyone listening, even if you're not interested in the race, make sure that you contribute and support this race. This is a unique time. Maybe you've never contributed or donated to a cause before, but right now, the biggest talk in America is about supporting one another, about lack of food and medical care. Help these people out.
Well said, Phil, and couldn't agree more. It's one of the reasons that I came on board, because I know that we have a lot of people that listen to us and view us and whatnot. So it's a great cause. Super excited to be involved in it. And going forward, I mean, that's one of the nice things about doing something super cool. Because let's cut to the chase, but this race is super cool.
Yeah.
It's a super cool experience. It's a great group of people. But being able to put that logo, the Ronald McDonald House logo, on the car, and then people hearing about it through all of us having all of this excitement is what we're looking to do. Obviously, to get it out to a wider and wider audience. So I mean, that's really the goal, right?
And this link that we'll provide is going to be for the Southern California chapter. But if you're at home driving through McDonald's, ordering on your app or through the drive-through, just say Roundup, and those pennies will go to your local chapter.
This is near and dear to me because Michael will tell you, I've talked to him online and off about my daughter and some of the medical issues that she had. And I always speak about how I was fortunate enough to be able to spend the time with her or whatever. But like, I would be in the hospital and I would see little babies in the hospital by themselves, and a nurse is literally being the mother, walking the child around the place and everything. And I just think that's a big deal, being able to spend time with your child when they are incapacitated in any form.
Keep the family together.
I appreciate you guys coming on here, and I appreciate the work that you're doing, and I hope you continue it.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
We will. Thank you for your support.
Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely. Mike, is there anything else you want to say?
Well, I just want to say I hope to be on the podcast in the future. All joking aside, I have been having a blast for the last couple of days here. I mean, it's an interesting experience flying in to a city and meeting a group of what totals,
older strangers. Yeah,
we're 20 strangers. We've been having a blast. We've been working hard. Don't get me wrong. We've been working all day, studying routes and whatnot. But we went out to a beautiful restaurant last night. Had a great time.
Shout out to Deckman's.
Shout out to Deckman's. If you guys ever travel down across the border into Ensenada, up in Valle de Guadalupe, up in the wine country, there's a place called Deckman's, and we went there last night. I can't.
Yes.
One of the best restaurants I've been to in the world, quite honestly. It was amazing.
Michelin starred, right?
Yes.
A Michelin star. So we had a really great time there. But in summary, it's been an adventure. So glad I'm here.
That was the calm before the storm.
That was. Right. So now we're joking. Now for the rest of the week, it's peanut butter and jelly and figuring out how to put our diapers on. We'll get into that more in some social media videos, but I'll do a diaper tutorial at some point.
So are you guys done for the day, or is there more work?
Oh no,
oh no,
we're not done. No,
So-
we got to go review. David and I have to go review our second section of the route. We're watching the video flyover and studying because they put all sorts of danger points and virtual check-ins and whatnot on there. So
Yep.
the more you know before you get in the car, the better.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything they want to say before we get out of here?
No, we're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah, you guys covered concisely pretty much everything. I appreciate that too.
All right.
Good.
All right, guys, you know what I'm going to say. Stay safe, tread lightly, and hopefully we'll see you here or on a trail soon.
You have been listening to Waypoint Overland's Random Waypoints. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.